1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
'Tis scratches season, and all through the state, the Arizona Lottery is giving people something to celebrate. Grab your friends and gather round for the chance to win $250,000 with cash countdown. Peppermint scented candy cane cash is available at any Arizona Lottery retailer in a flash. Gift these and 4 more games for any reason, because there are more than $80 million in prizes this season. This year and all, we wish you a happy holiday. From Arizona Lottery, love to play.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt? Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket.
Ready to rock, guys?
You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
Got hail damage or any damage? Dynasty Collision is here to help, and we're even covering part of your deductible. Thousands are skipping repairs because of cost, but you don't have to. Call Dynasty Collision today, 602-529-3304. That's 602-529-3304.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A winless road trip probably has you asking some questions. We'll try to get to the bottom of that today. Welcome in, Tuesday edition. The lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours here. Producer Evan is behind the glass, ready to take your phone calls, 480-864-1060. Producer Evan, how are we doing today here on a Monday? Or Tuesday. I know you're a little nervous right now. You got some your family traveling back, hurricane. You're tracking the flight.
Yeah, I'm tracking flights this morning. Got my
okay?
parents coming back from the Grand Cayman Islands. They're, passing pretty much over Jamaica. You got the hurricane going to Miami. They have a layover in Miami before going home. So I'm good. Just tracking their flight. Once they're stateside, I got no nerves anymore. Good. Like, if they don't get them up in Miami, that's fine. They can stay the night in Miami. They'll figure that out. But I'm not nervous about them getting back stateside. So I just need them in the States, and we're good.
Well, we'll keep you updated on that. They landed around 12 o'clock. So at the beginning of hour number 2 of the show, we should get an answer to this. But during the show, you're like, my parents are coming back, and you had the flight tracker up. You were paying attention, so hopefully everything goes well. I said to you, once you're up in the air,
typically you're fine.
If you're worried about some type of weather event like that as an airline or a pilot, you normally don't put the plane in the sky. You normally say, we're just going to stay here and wait. So the fact that they proceeded with the flight as regularly scheduled should be a good sign. So we'll hopefully your nerves can be relaxed here when we get to hour number 2 of the program. You know whose nerves I don't think are relaxed right now? Suns fans. after what happened last night, what happened on this road trip, an 0-3 road trip, now 1-3 through the first 4 games of the season. And right now, the Suns have a pair of problems.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I want to start with the good, because there is some good from not just last night's game, but in general. I love the fight that we are seeing from this team. Now, it is a negative that they dug themselves another huge, massive deficit early in this game. It's one of the 2 problems that they have right now. But they are showing fight. They are not allowing that to define who they are as a basketball team. And they fought back in the second quarter. They fought back in the second half, forced this game into overtime, unfortunately fell short. But I love the fight that we are seeing from this team. I also love the play from Colin Gillespie. Central to the Suns being in that game last night. Central to them being able to get this game into overtime. And I'll tell you what, you may not love him not playing on a back-to-back. Whatever plan the Suns have for Mark Williams, I'm on board with it. Because if that's the type of play you're going to get from one of your 2 big men, also Nick Richards had a good game last night as well, I thought. Mark Williams has been a massive bright spot in the early part of the season. That physicality, the rebounding, the rim protecting, you are seeing what the Suns saw in him. And now the only question mark, when you trade for somebody like Mark Williams, what was the question mark at the time? Can they keep him healthy? Could he stay on the court? Well, early on, we're seeing he's not playing on these back-to-backs. I think they're going to take it very easy with his minutes. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to have a very specific role here. And that's okay. I'm okay with that if that's the type of performance you're going to get in those minutes. Now let's talk about the problems that this basketball team has. And I think there's 2 big ones. They're starting incredibly slow. Another game this year in which they dug themselves an early 20-point deficit. They did it in the opener against the Kings. They have fallen behind early. Producer Evan, I would love for you to look at the box scores from the first 4 games of the regular season and just give me the first quarter numbers. Because I know they weren't leading after 1 last night. I know they weren't leading after the first quarter in the opener against the Kings. Over the weekend against the Nuggets and the Clippers, I don't think they were winning at the end of the first quarter in any of those games. These slow starts are killing this team. And they are killing this team because let's call a spade here on a Tuesday. This year's Phoenix Suns team, this current iteration, year 1 of what Brian Gregory and Jordan Knott are trying to do.
The alignment.
Not designed to come back. They don't have the horses. They don't have, especially with Jalen Green sidelined, especially last night with Dillon Brooks sidelined. They don't have the guys. That's not to talk negatively about the draft picks that they've used, the young players like Colin Gillespie that they have on this team. I just don't think right now in year 1 of what they're trying to do, they are equipped to be in situations where they're down 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 points and for them to come back. They don't have the talent. They don't have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. They don't have Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, right? Think of teams that have multiple scoring options. They don't have that regularly enough. Sure. Are there nights where Grayson Allen's going to go off? Sure. Are there nights where Dillon Brooks can go off? Where is the reliable second option? They don't have it. And so when you dig yourself these early holes, yeah, your defense is going to help you kind of hang around. But who other than Devin Booker is going to be able to step up every single night to keep you in games? And the answer to that question right now is nobody. Now, next year, Jalen Green, year 2 in this system, maybe some of these young players develop. Maybe Ryan Dunn finds himself a scoring role. These things can kind of sort themselves out. But at the beginning of this project, at the beginning of this experiment, at the beginning of this makeover, it's just not there. The first 4 quarters.
In the first quarter, the first game, they lost the quarter by 10 points. In the second game against the Clippers on the road, they lost the first quarter by 1 point. In the third game, they lost by 6 to Denver on the road. And in Utah last night, they lost by 12.
So 4 games, 4 slow starts. 4 games, 4 times at the end of the first quarter. And listen, I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. I know basketball is a game of runs. But I want to be the team that starts on the run. I want to be the team that starts on the 19-2 run like Utah did last night in that game. Because if you are spotting teams like Utah, a 19-2 start, what's going to happen when you face the Warriors, when you face the Lakers with LeBron, when you face Dallas, when you face Denver like you did over the weekend, when you face Oklahoma City, Minnesota, these upper echelon teams, if you're going to spot them early leads like that, you are going to struggle to win. Now, let's face it. We on this program believe that they're going to win more games than they did a year ago. We think they're going to sail past their win total. And through the first 4 games, not a great start for us, a 250 winning percentage. We're not off to a great start here in team. They're going to be better. But I always thought that the way this was going to work is the first half of the season was going to be the growing pains. It was going to be them figuring each other out. And the second half of the season, maybe when the calendar flips to 2026, you would see a team whose second half record compared to their first half record is night and day. Now, through 4 games, it has not looked great. Through 4 games, they've had a problem of starting slow. The other problem, and this is an interesting problem, and producer Evan, I'd love to have a back and forth with you on this because I don't know how you feel about it. I'm somewhat struggling with my own opinions and feelings on it. The Suns last year were the 3rd best 3-point shooting team in terms of percentage in the league. This year, they're starting off 19th through 4 games. Now, you look at that and you say, they were 3rd, now they're 19th. That's the problem. That's why they can't score points. Here's the interesting wrinkle to it, though. They are 1st in attempts, and they are 5th in makes. So they are playing a volume game. We're just going to shoot more threes than you. Maybe we'll hit them at a lower overall percentage, but we're just going to take more than everybody else in the league. And it's an interesting bet to take because through the first 4 games, every single game, they have been under what their season percentage was a year ago. I think in the opener, they shot 29% from behind the 3-point line. I mean, just awful. Now, it can be a volume game. If you're going to shoot a lot of threes, you can afford to miss more because you're taking more overall shots. Whereas if you're a team that's not going to shoot a ton of volume, then you need to capitalize the most on those chances. So it's an interesting bet by Jordan Ott and this Suns coaching staff to schematically say, maybe we're not going to shoot as well as we did last year, but we're going to shoot more than we did last year. We're going to shoot more than everybody else in the league. They are 1st in 3-point attempts through the first 4 games of the season in a per-game statistic, meaning in the game, I think it's like 46.5 threes they're attempting a game. Just an astronomical number.
Yeah, and it's a completely different mindset that we kind of probably expected this team to have. Like, I didn't expect them to shoot more threes this year than they did last year. And I know we're 4 games in, but to be off to that kind of start is an interesting wrinkle to where I thought this team would be at this point. And on top of all of that, to not do it as efficiently, which we knew would happen just with the roster they have built and no Jalen Green, leads you to the question of what is the idea behind the volume of threes we're gonna take per game.
I just looked it up. Last year, they attempted the 12th most threes per game, 38 of them. They're at 46.5 through 4 games this year. Now, last year, as I mentioned, they hit on 37.8% of their threes. That was good for 3rd in the league. They also took the 7th most. They also made the 7th most 3-pointers at 14.3. They're making more of them this year. In fact, that number is actually better this year through the first 4 games as they are knocking down 15.8 threes per game. And they're 46.5 attempts per game. So 1st in attempts, 5th in makes, 19th in overall percentage. So they're playing a volume game, but it does feel like at times that volume game takes them out of it where they're trying to go on that run and they're just missing a ton of threes over and over and over again. And when, unfortunately, I wonder if their 3 percentage and their 3 attempts is a direct byproduct of their slow starts. Dig yourself an early hole, down 15, 18, 20 points, you feel like you have to shoot your way back into it. You don't feel like you can just run pick and roll, get the ball to Mark Williams, take easy 2s, let Devin Booker play a mid-range game, and that's how you get yourself back into it. You feel like you need to shoot 3s to get yourself back into games.
And the other question I wonder to myself too is why, what causes that shift, right? Is it because of a slow start, or is that a mentality we have coming into the game? Right? Because I'm watching the games, you're watching the games. Does it feel like they have a change in mentality when they fall down a couple scores?
No, it doesn't feel like there's a dramatic shift in what they're doing.
Yeah.
It feels like they want to shoot a ton of threes, and that's the way Jordan Ott wants to play. He wants to play fast. He wants to play quick. It's the reason why they designed the team the way that they did. Athletic, skewing on the younger side, right? You got young players like Ryan Dunn, Oso Ighodaro, Colin Gillespie playing important roles. Jalen Green's going to fall into that bucket when he comes back into this lineup. So it's clear what they want to do. I also wonder, because maybe other than the Clippers game, 2 of their 4 games, they've started so poorly. You can't get into what you want to do as a basketball team when you're fighting uphill from the get-go, right?
It's really hard. It's really hard.
It's hard for you to be the team you want to be when whatever you came into the game with as a plan didn't work at the start. So you got to adjust quickly on the fly, and you may have to throw caution to the wind, especially early on in the season. And so I don't know if we've really truly seen a complete game where the Suns have played the way they want to play start to finish.
It's very different from the Cardinals, right? Who seemingly fall apart and the wheels come off at the end.
Right.
They can kind of play their style of football for 3 quarters and then the wheels come off. The Suns can't even get into playing their style of basketball because they're starting so slow and down 12 before you blink and get into the second quarter. I'm already fighting an uphill battle. And then once we get into the second half, down 3, now I can kind of play my style of basketball. But for the first half, it felt like I couldn't.
Their first 4 games of the season, their pace is 18th in the league. Last year, they finished 25th in that regard. So certainly playing with more pace. And obviously the problem right now is you look at the defensive metrics. You look at their defensive rating being 29th of 30 teams. You look at their opponents' points per game being 29th of 30 teams. You look at a team right now that told us they were going to be better defensively. And again, Bill Simmons 1, Matt Ishbia 0 right now, because in the first 4 games of the season, it looks like the defense hasn't improved. I am willing to go to what I said yesterday, that you are allowed the excuses through the first 4 games of the season. You are allowed to say it is way too early to cast judgment on what this team is defensively. And I said yesterday that you got to throw it out the window if Dillon Brooks doesn't play, because that's a key component, a key cog to how they want to play on the defensive side. He's a key part of their defensive identity. And so not having him last night, they were fighting an uphill battle. And then Lauri Markkanen on the other side has a massive performance. What was it, 51 points in that game? Felt like he just hit every shot he took.
Yeah, 51 points. And man, he's one of those guys that you almost forget about because of the struggles of the Utah Jazz in recent years. He can hoop. He can hoop with the best of them.
Yeah, he was hooping with the best of them last night as the Jazz took down the Suns. It's a day off today. Memphis up next for the Suns. And again, this is a work in progress. I know you want to see the results. I know you want to see some wins to make you feel good about the way that they attack this offseason, and you want to feel confident in the head coach. You want to feel confident in the GM. Relax. It's only 4 games. And last night, I kind of expected it to go that way with not having Dillon Brooks in the lineup. I worried what it was going to look like on the defensive side of the floor. And yes, that is a cause for concern here through the first 4 games, but there's a lot of new. So give it time for it all to gel. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, the Cardinals, they made an interesting roster move yesterday. Let's talk about it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
This is what I mean when I say that was a collapse for the ages. An all-time tank job. Not only did the Giants lead 19-0, going to the fourth quarter, they scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, and they still lost. The Giants were 99.8% to win that game, according to ESPN. But according to the Broncos, the number was actually 0.0%.
Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com.
They got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah? Del, yeah.
What was that?
Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Del Taco's El Big Boxes now come with bigger burritos. Try the $5 Classico, $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah.
Price of participation may vary.
This winter, step into a world of wonder at the Tianyu Lights Festival, open from October 24th through January 4th at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, and Phoenix. Explore the 4 new themes: Bugs Aglow, Colors of Holidays, Rainforest, and Prehistoric Animals, which feature 70 glowing handcrafted lanterns. Enjoy delicious foods and beverages at our food court, explore the interactive lanterns, and complete your visit with a trip to the marketplace where you'll find unique souvenirs. Don't miss this unforgettable holiday experience. Tickets are available now.
Who is Farm Bureau Financial Services? At our core, we're relationship builders. We're home and auto bundlers, life insurers, farm and ranch protectors, and retirement planners. We're neighbors, community members, and friends. We're the people you can count on now and for years to come. Find a Farm Bureau agent at fbfs.com/protect. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. And a quick update on the state of professional football in New York. Yes, it is easy to get caught up in the Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo hype with the G-Men. Why not? It's the first time they've had any juice in forever. But that was before they choked away a 19-point lead against Denver and allowed 33 fourth-quarter points to the Broncos. Speaking of same as they ever were, only worse, the Jets lost and fell to 0-7. And what do you know? 1 week after lecturing the media, when it asked Aaron Glenn if he would consider benching Justin Fields, he did just that to start the second half of yesterday's loss to Carolina. Hey, Aaron, what changed? I thought you don't do that after, quote, one bad game. I guess you do that after one bad game and a half, or 7 bad games. The more things change, the more they stay exactly the same in New York, and the Jets and the Giants are once again in a race to the very bottom. I'm Jim Rome.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Oklahoma City taking out everybody on their way to a championship. One of the youngest, I think they average 26 years old,
Yeah.
Rich. As long as they have the Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan gene, or at least one person on that team, hopefully it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They have a chance. And listen, it's human nature to be the best and think, I'll be the best again. And then you fall short. I'm going to say Oklahoma City will not go back-to-back.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
How about a little baseball coming up in about 10 minutes from now with the offseason drawing closer? Who might be on the short list for the Diamondbacks to go after in free agency? That coming up in about 10 minutes from now. The Cardinals made an interesting move yesterday by releasing Michael Carter. And Jonathan Gannon met with the media earlier this morning and said that Michael Carter is back with the team. I would assume that is under the practice squad. And it does feel like the Cardinals are maneuvering their roster to open up the practice windows to get some players back, and that's exactly what Jonathan Gannon said to the media today, opening the practice window for Garrett Williams today. The window for B.J. Ojulari is going to open up on Thursday, reportedly, so 21 days the practice window for those guys coming off of injured reserve. And then after that 21-day window, the Cardinals either have to put that person on the roster or they stay on IR for the remainder of the season. So it looks like the Cardinals are going to get those two players back in short order. Also keeping an eye on Walter Nolan. Now, I was intrigued by the Michael Carter news yesterday. I don't know if you were a producer, Evan, because surface level, this is just a team making a roster move throughout the course of the season. It happens. Guys get cut. They get brought back on the practice squad. And yesterday when I first saw the news, the thing that I questioned was, this is kind of the room that's gone through a lot of injuries this season. This is somebody who's familiar with your system, familiar with what you're trying to do. I know that it's really become the Amari DiMercato Bam Knight show. And I know that Trey Benson's probably going to return here soon. But it feels like rolling the dice a little bit for a room that's been hampered with injuries this season. That was at least my thought yesterday. Now knowing that he's back with the team, probably on the practice squad, it does soften that blow at least a little bit, because if they do need him, they can just elevate him from the practice squad to have him on Sundays. But it did feel a little weird. And now it got me thinking about Walter Nolan and Garrett Williams and B.J. Ojulari. And it got me thinking of this question. Which of those three players do the Cardinals need back the most right now? Three players that play three different positions. Ojulari's going to be on the outside being an edge rusher. Walter Nolan's going to fortify and help your defensive line. He is a rookie, though. Garrett Williams outside as one of your shutdown corners. Where do the Cardinals need help the most? And which of those three players provides the Cardinals the most in return, the most contributions to their defense? Interesting question.
It's a really interesting question. To me, surface level, I lean to say that it's Garrett Williams. And that's the player that I think that they need back the most. And I think it's looking at this team in the fourth quarter, up or down a score when other teams are throwing it. They've been struggling to get the stops needed to win the games. And a lot of that has to do with the secondary, right? And yes, so much of it is their inability to get pressure. And obviously, B.J. Ojulari would have a huge part in that. Walter Nolan could play a piece. I think Walter Nolan probably falls third just because it would be his first NFL experience.
That's the thing, right? Walter Nolan as a player is an unknown to me right now. I know he was taken in the first round, and the Cardinals think very highly of him. But we're about to enter week 9 of the NFL regular season, and he hasn't played a snap of football. Expecting him to contribute anything meaningful is setting yourself up for failure as a fan, setting yourself up for failure as a team, as a defense. It is not, you just can't do it. Because we saw this last year with Darius Robinson. Came back off of an injury as a rookie, didn't play in preseason, didn't have a full training camp. And it was an up and down couple of games for Darius Robinson. So we got to learn from that. We got to use that because it's basically the same injury. And we have to say, we can't expect anything of Walter Nolan because we saw it with Darius Robinson. Yes, two different athletes, two different players. The injuries aren't one-to-one the same, but I'm going to default to, I watched this play out with somebody at the same position last year with a very similar injury, and I saw what it looked like when he came back, that there was a learning curve or growing pains. That's what's going to happen with Walter Nolan, so he ends up being third. And I'm with you. I think Garrett Williams is number one for me because while I think the pass rush overall has left something to be desired, I don't want to say a lot to be desired because I think Calais Campbell has played well on the interior. I think Sweat at times has shown the player that we all thought he could be here. They just need help shutting down opponents' wide receivers. Like, that's where they need help the most.
I just think for a team that continues to lose games in the fourth quarter, like, how many teams have you seen over the last 5 games, right, in their last 5 losses, run the ball on them late to win the football game? Nobody. They've had to throw.
Right, because they've gone into the fourth quarter of each of their last 3 games with a 7-point lead or more. And so you're going to try to throw your way back into it there in the fourth quarter. Jordan Love certainly did it in the last game that the Cardinals played. Certainly happened with Indy and Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor also played a major role in that as well. That's a unicorn at the position. To me, you need the shutdown corner because even if you're going to run the football, you're going to try to make that one throw, that one pass to ice the game, right? And you got to have trust in the guys out there to make a play. You need somebody to go make a play. And Garrett Williams is the type of corner that can go out there and make a play. So I think they need him back the most. I think Ojulari would help beef up the depth of that room. And certainly any team is interested in adding to their pass rush room. It's important to have options. It's important to have depth. It's important to beef up that room so that if Sweat is off the field because you're in the middle of a rotation, you have somebody else that you trust to create havoc and get after the quarterback. But to me, Garrett Williams is the player that they need the most. And I think it's important that his practice window is opening up today. And they've got 21 days to activate him. I wonder if that is on the short side of that 21 days or if they take the full 21. I don't know. Will they rush it because time is not on their side? It's not a resource they have. They're 2-5, not 5-2. If you're 5-2, you can probably take it a little bit more cautiously with these players. But I do wonder if there's an aggressiveness to get these guys back on the field because the team needs results, and they need results in a hurry.
And you imagine from this coaching staff, they have an idea that a clock might be ticking for them, right? They understand the importance of this end of the stretch, not only for this season, but for their future with the team. So
I certainly hope so, and not because I want to see a coaching change. It's never good to see somebody lose their job, right? But I want them to have that sense of urgency, right? I want them to feel it because this is where then I can learn a lot about Jonathan Gannon. If he does feel like he's under pressure because he's heard something or he is feeling the pressure of people talking about him being on the hot seat, and we see the best 10-game stretch of Jonathan Gannon's coaching career, that's a good thing, right? Pressure makes diamonds. You want to be an elite head coach? You face adversity, you face pressure, you come out the other side stronger. That's what these 10 games provide. And so, yeah, I want to see them being under the microscope and having that pressure and see how they deal with it. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, the Dodgers picked up another win last night, halfway to winning another championship, which means the offseason is drawing closer. Who might make sense for the Arizona Diamondbacks? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
To everyone counting down the days until pumpkin season, your wait is finally over.
The Salted Caramel Pumpkin Concrete Mixer and Pumpkin Spice Shake are back at Culver's for a limited time. And because nothing beats the real thing, every scoop of fresh frozen custard is made with farm fresh dairy, and every bite is filled with real pumpkin puree. So come visit us at Culver's, or order ahead in the app or online, and fall in love with these
at Culver's.
We're not talking about card tricks or disappearing acts. Wow. This is the kind of magic that transforms real farm fresh dairy into world-class Wisconsin cheese. We're talking about Midwest magic. Oh. It's about handcrafting every meal with love, because at Culver's, we want every bite to be turned into a smile. Order ahead in the app or online and come taste the magic for yourself.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner at A1 Garage Door Service.
Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
What makes the holidays the most wonderful time of the year at the Disneyland Resort? It's seeing the skies brightened with unforgettable fireworks, gathering with family for a Christmas fantasy parade, taking in the music, food, and fun of Disney Festival of Holidays, watching the dazzling world of color happiness, and so much more. It's a time filled with joy when the place you know and love is wrapped up in the holiday spirit. And it's made all the more happy during the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration. So what are you waiting for? The holidays begin here from November 14th through January 7th. Visit Disneyland.com for important details.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
And LSU said, yeah, we've had enough. They've had enough of the experience of Brian Kelly losing 3 out of the last 4, and 2 of which he lost to his coordinator. They were ex-coordinators of him. And the last 3 coaches they've had, they've all won national championship within 4 years. Coach O did it. Les Miles did it. Nick Saban did it. Brian Kelly did not. Yeah, out. Now the question is who they bring in.
Back Coach O.
Can't wait to see who that's going to be. No, I think he burned in bridges.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
How about a 6+ hour baseball game last night? How about 18 innings in the World Series? How about Shohei Ohtani getting on base 9 times in a baseball game? Started the game 4 for 4, and the Blue Jays said, you know what? Enough is enough. Just go stand on first base.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
In the 8th inning or 7th inning, when he hit the game-tying home run, I have a buddy who's a Jays fan. He was home in Toronto, and he texted me like I would have put him on first there. I disagree with that. Like, I know he burned you, and I know the solo shot ends up tying it, but the worst he does in that current spot is tie the game, and the last thing I need is a big inning if it's Freeman or Betts coming up in the next 2 hitters, especially for a guy like Freeman who's seen Sir Anthony Dominguez more than anybody.
Tell you, it's an interesting question, right? Because on the surface, I think your friend's being a little results-oriented.
Yeah.
And seeing that the home run was hit, and it's saying, I would have walked him. Now, maybe he said it in the moment anyway, but it does feel like the result stings the decision a little bit more. But I think to your point, it's a 1-run game at that point. I put him on first base. I have to get through 2 other MVPs, and those 2 gentlemen can also go yard. And now instead of it just being a solo home run, in all honesty, if you're going to pitch to Ohtani, those are the moments to pitch to him. When he can only hit a solo home run, when he can only beat you in that regard. You don't want to give the Dodgers opportunities with base traffic all over the place. So it's an interesting question, but I don't think I would have pitched. I don't think I would have put him on first base.
I don't either. I can't seem to get over, and maybe I'm crazy and people will call me what they call me in the chat.
Oh, they love you in the chat.
I am just in these situations, and I understand how great Ohtani was. The person I'm most afraid to face with anybody on base is Freddie Freeman in that lineup. He's going to give them the most competent at bat, no matter what.
Well,
is that crazy to say?
Yeah, I think it is. Because I think Ohtani is the player that I fear the most in that lineup.
And I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying runner on second, 1 out in the game. Who would you, if you could pick anybody up?
So let's break it down here.
I think it could be Freeman.
In the top of the 7th, the Blue Jays take the lead. They go up 5-4, right?
Yep.
You then get the immediate out with Sir Anthony Dominguez on the mound. So you're facing Ohtani with 1 out, holding on to a 1-run lead. You need 8 outs to take a 2-1 series lead, right? That's the situation that's in front of you.
Yep.
It is a 1-run game. Yes, one swing does tie the game for me. But my argument to everybody, and I think you would agree with this, if I'm not going to pitch to Ohtani in that moment, then there isn't a time I'm ever going to pitch to Ohtani. I should walk him every time.
Yes. Yeah, that is the argument.
Because when he opens up the game, it's basically this. It's actually a worse situation. Because if I don't score in the top half of the inning, one swing now puts them in front. So if you're not going to pitch to him in that moment with that pitcher on the mound, I don't know if there's a world where you would pitch to him. Now, credit to Toronto, because after that they learned and they said, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. We're just going to put him on first base. And they just did it for the rest of the game, no matter the situation. They just said, take your base. Not going to let you beat me. Now, to Michael's question over in the YouTube chat, when did they stop putting a player on second base? These long games suck. That is a regular season rule only. The playoffs do not have the.
And let me ask Michael, would he have rather seen the home run derby?
Well, see. Now you're going too far. The home run derby idea, I think, is a great regular season idea. In the postseason, we can play baseball. In the postseason, the game can take 6+ hours. That's quite all right with me.
I agree.
So the Dodgers, 2-1 series lead, halfway to back-to-back championships, halfway to ending the MLB season, halfway to getting us to the offseason. And that leads us to talking about a story that was written in The Athletic yesterday. Jim Bowden, former general manager, put out his top 50 MLB free agents for this upcoming offseason, had contract predictions and team fits for all 50. This is our first glimpse at looking at how the Diamondbacks might fit into the offseason puzzle. And I'll tell you, not a surprising first look, because they were not named as a fit for any of the top 10 free agents that are going to get a lot of money. Maybe somewhat of a surprise, they were not named as a fit for Zach Gallen, who is the 11th ranked free agent in Jim Bowden's list. The first player they were listed as a fit for was Munetaka Murakami over from Japan. His projected contract was 6 years, $160 million. Feels like a lot of money, considering the Diamondbacks are going to be scaling back their operation a little bit this offseason. They were also listed as a fit for, and everybody rejoiced, they were listed as a fit for Josh Naylor. Projected to get a 4-year, $90 million contract. I'll take the over on that. I think he'll get more than that. They were listed as a fit for Kazuma Okamoto, another player who's going to get posted from over in Japan. Now, Murakami provides more pop, can play first and third base, hits from, I believe, the left side, but has more pop in his bat, where Okamoto doesn't have as much power, but more contact, going to hit for a higher average, doesn't have as much swing and miss as Murakami does. So 2 players that could come over from Japan probably will get posted. Merrill Kelly, they were listed as a fit for with a projected contract of 2 years, $30 million. And they were also listed as a fit for Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt, on a 1-year, $10 million contract. And taking this all in, I think it proves one of the larger points we've had about this Diamondbacks offseason. It's going to be quiet. There's not going to be a ton of big splashes, because I don't think they're going to give 6 years, 160 to a player that is an unknown to the world of Major League Baseball. Now, there are scouts that have scouted him, and I'm sure teams have analytical models that tell them what they think this player is going to do. But it is a player who's coming over from another league and playing in the majors. There is always a learning curve with that. There are going to be some hits, like a Shohei Ohtani. There are going to be some misses, and there are going to be some players that kind of fall in between. I don't know if the Diamondbacks are going to take that type of risk with a majority, if not all of the money that they have available to them this offseason. Same thing goes for Josh Naylor. Same thing goes for Okamoto. Now, Goldie on a 1-year deal, $10 million, that makes sense. They need a first baseman. They can run a platoon out there at first base. They can bring Goldie back home. It's a 1-year commitment. It provides a boost to fan morale. It provides a boost to the floor of their team. All the reasons why that type of deal makes sense. All the reasons why $15 million a season for Merrill Kelly to get a floor setter in your rotation makes sense. By the way, producer Evan, in this story, Devin Williams' contract prediction, 1 year, $10 million. It's like the contract I predicted he was going to get when we talked about Devin Williams being an option for the Diamondbacks a couple weeks ago on the show.
There was a few that really really kind of matched your number.
It's like I know what I'm doing here. It's like I'm a bit of a professional. It's like baseball's the one sport I probably know in and out better than the other. I have a pretty good feel on this type of stuff. It's the sport I watch the most. And this Diamondbacks offseason is going to be slow. It is going to be quiet. And I don't think it should not be a surprise that they're not listed as a team fit for Kyle Tucker or a team fit for Bo Bichette or a team fit for Alex Bregman. They're not going to play in those waters. It's not going to happen. They are not going to give out those types of contracts to those types of players. They're just not going to do it. They are going to spend less money than they did a year ago. They're going to have to be shrewd. They're going to have to be creative. And I think there's going to be way more activity in the trade market than there is in the free agent market, because that's where the costs can be suppressed a little bit. You can trade for somebody who's already under contract. You don't have to get into a bidding war for that deal. You can get somebody who maybe still has arbitration years of team control left, and you don't have a big contract that you have to give to them. You're not maybe giving $90 million to bring back Josh Naylor to play first base for you. You're getting somebody who's maybe only going to cost you 10, 12 in arbitration from another team. Those are the types of moves that I think the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to look at in a big way. So just a first glimpse. We need the season to end. Then the offseason flurry can begin. That's what the Diamondbacks will have. They will have a ton of moves that they need to make. Rebuilding a rotation, rebuilding a bullpen, getting a DH, getting somebody to play first base, getting potentially an outfielder, a third baseman, something. There's going to be a lot of work for this Diamondbacks team to do. I just don't know if it's going to be as splashy and as loud in the free agent market. I think it's going to be more on the trade side of things. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, the hottest takes in the Valley. Producer Evan has them for me. I'm either buying or selling the takes next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Sticks. The Hits. Live at Celebrity Theater. Friday and Saturday, January 9th and 10th. With special guest Max Gomez. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. A trip through all their best. Don't miss Sticks Live. Produced by Danny Zalisco Presents.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day.
9 stores in the Phoenix area, including the new Santan Valley location.
Does your student struggle in a traditional school setting? For nearly 25 years, Primavera Online has helped Arizona K-12 students thrive with an accredited tuition-free education from home. Learn more at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. To open up hour number 2 of the program, should ASU back up the Brinks truck to keep Kenny Dillingham if that's what it will take? That's how we'll open hour number 2 of the program. In the meantime, buy or sell the hottest takes in the Valley. Producer Evan has them. I'm either buying or selling. I'm also keeping my eyes and ears out today to see if this is the AI-generated buy or sell. That's the fun part about this. One day this week, producer Evan is going to try to sneak in some Chat GPT buy or sell topics. I have to try to figure out what day it is. I knew it wasn't yesterday because I had to remind producer Evan of it. So I've got now a 1 in 4 chance to figure this out.
And we'll see if it's today.
You are oddly quiet today talking about buy or sell. It didn't really come up.
It did not come up.
So I don't know what that means. I will make a determination at the end.
Monday's Cardinals game is a must-win for the team.
Buy. Must win. Yeah, it's must win for a bunch of different reasons. I don't need a qualifier. It's must win for must win. They're not eliminated if they lose. Let me just put that disclaimer out there, right? We don't believe in must wins unless it's but if they want to save their season, it's got to start on Monday. If Jonathan Gannon wants to start the second half and remove himself from the hot seat, winning on Monday is important. Kyler Murray, his future, got to have that game on Monday. Yes, they have to win.
The Suns will need to add another scoring option if they want to seriously compete.
I'm going to sell this for right now. Can I put a take on layaway that I'm thinking about selling?
Of course.
Normally you put something on layaway that you're going to buy. I want to reevaluate this take after I see what Jalen Green looks like in this offense. Because there's a world where Jalen Green is that player. Jalen Green is the guy that is that reliable secondary scoring option. And then I think things kind of stabilize a little bit. So I want to put this on layaway for the moment. That's our third take on layaway.
That is the third ever take on layaway. ASU will have to give up less than 21 points if they want to beat Iowa State without Sam Leavitt.
Well, yeah, that's the news of the day. Sam Leavitt ruled out for this game against Iowa State. Iowa State opened, I believe, as 3-point favorites. I've seen it as high as 7.5 now in the wake of the Sam Leavitt news. They're going to need a defensive masterclass because I just don't know what the floor is for this offense with Jeff Sims. Do we know if Jordan Tyson's going to play?
We don't know that yet.
Is there a world where the ASU offense is without Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson? What does that look like?
That is a serious world. What does that look like? I think there's a serious conversation of, did we overestimate this team's talent around those two players? And that's a real conversation. Yes, they got Tyson in the building. Yes, they have Sam Leavitt here. Without those two players, how much talent do they actually have offensively?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, they may have to go option offense.
I think that's exactly what it would be. I think you would have to run a Raleek Brown, Jeff Sims option, give him the ability to throw when you get him out there in space. But I think everything would be rollouts, RPOs, read options.
Run the speed option play. From
speed
NCAA.
option. We've seen Jeff Sims run that before.
Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah, Georgia Tech. I mean, they ran that style of offense. Remember, ASU had a package for him last year. They used a few times where it was him running the speed option on the goal line. They haven't done any of that this year. So in both games he started or played in.
They're going to have to reinvent their offense this week if they don't have Tyson and Leavitt.
With that being said, though, I thought Jeff Sims had a solid drive there on his first drive when he got in the game. Don't know if he can sustain that through a full game, but it was a nice drive.
There it is. I agreed with you, and then you went to the but, and the but is, can he do it for 4 quarters? And that's going to be the question.
Yep. An 18-inning loss is way more detrimental to a team than getting blown out in a World Series game.
You're going to try to make the case that utilizing all those bullpen arms
is almost worse.
I mean, yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Now, the advantage you get if you're the Blue Jays is that their pitcher tonight had, 9 at-bats last night, was on base every time. That's the other reason. If I knew he was starting tonight, I'm making him swing every time.
Because he's got to throw. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting game of chess that you have to play there. Because you also know that if you leave one in a bad spot,
no, I know, but
it's going to land on the moon.
Yes, but I'm going to do the old intentional, not intentional walk every time he's up.
You're going to see if you can get him to swing at something?
Yeah.
Okay. It is the playoffs. It's the World Series. It's all hands on deck. I mean, you saw it last night. The Dodgers had Yamamoto warming up down there in the bullpen, and he had pitched 2 days ago and threw 100-plus pitches and threw a complete game. They were going to go to him as a reliever if the game continued.
I can't believe, and I get it because of the age and because of the playoff woes, I can't believe they only used Kershaw for 1 out.
Right, because if you have him on the roster and you're in that game.
If you have him on the roster and you're only going to use him for 1 out, he shouldn't be on the roster.
I will say.
It's a big out. It is. I just want to make it very clear. Hall of Fame career. It was the biggest out of his career last night.
It was huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was massive.
That is the situation. That's not taking anything away from Clayton Kershaw. That's talking about what it was. In the 12th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs, that might be the biggest out of his career.
It's all code with a major accusation against producer Evan, saying that Evan is going fastball in the ribs on a 3-2 count. I don't think you would manage that way.
What, on Ohtani?
3-2 count, you're going after him.
Yeah, 3-2 count, I'm coming after him.
You're not fastball in the ribs, no.
Yeah.
It's code with a major accusation against you as a manager. You wouldn't do that. 3-2 count. I've got to this point. I'm going after him.
That's the one thing about Ohtani is you can get him to chase a little.
A little.
Especially if you have a lefty. That's the one thing he's been struggling with all the playoffs is lefty, slider away.
I don't think
the only thing he can't hit, actually.
I don't think I answered the take.
You did not.
More detrimental to play an 18-inning game than to get blown out in the World Series. And it's obviously a conversation about the health of your bullpen. I don't know, man. It's the World Series. It's all hands on deck. Everybody's pitching every single day. I don't think they're going to use that as an excuse. No.
Sell it.
I'm going to sell the take. I don't think it's detrimental. You played an 18-inning game, and you had a chance to take. In the blowout, I don't have a chance to take a 2-1 seriously.
Yeah, the argument against me, too, is the last time there was an 18-inning game in the World Series, the Dodgers won it and then lost the next 2.
How about this as a take? Must win tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Really? Yes. No, I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think it is.
You go down 3-1. I don't know if you're beating that team 3 times in a row.
No, not with that pitching. Not with their starting pitching.
I think you got to win tonight, force it back to Toronto, and go from there.
I think they have to win the next 2. And I don't know who's – that's the one thing, too. It is – and I kind of jokingly about making Ohtani swing the bat, though I do think it's kind of an interesting conversation if you really want to have it. How many innings can he give him tonight? They're going to need a workhorse, and I feel like they've had a pretty quick leash on him.
Well, let's look at it.
Are they going to let him really go?
Well, let's look at it. Let's look at what he's done so far here in the postseason. We have the time. He threw 6 innings against the Brewers. Didn't allow a run, struck out 10. If you got 6 innings from him tonight, you're fine. You need 9 outs from your bullpen in the postseason? That's fine.
Yeah.
Now, yes, he was on base 9 times last night. He was very busy, doing a lot. Continuing to be an absolute unicorn at the position. But I think you can get to 6 innings with him and you'd be fine.
Did you see Matthew coming at me over there on the YouTube?
So is John. I mean, everyone's going after you.
I don't understand.
They think
I hate the Dodgers.
No, they think you're like a 1970s manager that's going to tell your pitcher to just throw one up and in on somebody.
Yeah, what am I, Pedro?
That's what the YouTube side of the show thinks of you. I don't know why, but that's what they think of you.
Yeah.
Shane Bieber, Shohei Ohtani tonight.
Yeah.
No, this was not an AI generated by yourself, by the way.
Correct.
Yeah. Just something about it felt very Evan today. So I got 3 more days to try to figure this out. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. When we come back, if it was needed, should ASU back up the Brinks truck for Kenny Dillingham? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
We believe everyone deserves access to fresh food. That's why the Kroger Company created the Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program to share fresh food with the people in our communities. Our program and foundations have donated 3 billion meals since 2017. That's nearly 10 meals for every person in the U.S. Together, we can do more for our neighbors. Just round up your purchase at checkout. Fries, fresh for everyone.
Got hail damage or any damage? Dynasty Collision is here to help, and we're even covering part of your deductible. Thousands are skipping repairs because of cost, but you don't have to. Call Dynasty Collision today, 602-529-3304. That's 602-529-3304.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Welcome to hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Thanks for hanging out with us. Chris Schubert with you. Producer Evans on the other side of the glass, taking your phone calls, 480-864-1060. Got the NFL news dump coming up this hour. We've got an Overreaction Tuesday for you as well. Lots of stuff to dive into this hour of the show. I do want to start with ASU football. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Kenny Dillingham named in a Bruce Feldman piece as a potential candidate for the LSU job now that they have moved on from Brian Kelly. And I don't think this is going away anytime soon. I think as long as Kenny Dillingham is here, and especially in a cycle this year with these high-profile jobs like a Penn State, like a Florida, like an LSU, like a UCLA, like these big-time programs being available, I think Kenny Dillingham's name is going to come up. And yesterday, Kenny Dillingham was asked the question, Not sure if you saw or heard his answer. Don't know how you felt about his answer. I know when I heard it, I didn't feel great about the way that he answered it. It was very non-committal. It was very kind of not slamming the door shut. Producer Evan made a good point to me that it was got to keep your leverage in your control. So you don't want to say the wrong thing up there at the podium. And so you say, hey, I'm just focusing on this season. I'm just focusing on winning as many football games as we can. And that's exactly what Kenny Dillingham said. And so that led me to think about this yesterday into today. Producer Evan, let's say for a moment the phone rings. That phone next to you rings. You're Kenny Dillingham's agent. You pick it up. It's LSU calling. And they want to make you a very highly paid coach in the world of college football. They want to make you one of the highest paid coaches in the world of college football. You're ASU. You get wind that LSU is willing to make Kenny Dillingham one of the highest paid head coaches in all of college football. What do you do if you're Graham Rossini and Arizona State University? That's what I want to try to unpack here today. What do you do if that offer actually gets slid across the table from a Penn State, from a Florida, from an LSU, over to a Kenny Dillingham? What do you do if you are Graham Rossini and ASU?
And the question is, can they match it? And if they can't match it, how close can they come to matching it? What do the offers comparatively look like? And is Kenny willing to take a hometown discount? Those are the biggest questions, right? Because I think there's no doubt in my mind that those three programs have deeper pockets than ASU has. But what does their offer look like? How willing is ASU to overextend themselves to keep him here?
Behind the scenes, I wonder if there would be a willingness to go beyond the norm here at Arizona State to keep Kenny Dillingham around, right? Because you said, can they pay him enough? I think any institution that is a Power 4 institution can find the money if they want to do something. If they are driven and motivated and they feel like this is the right thing for whatever program it is, you can find the money. You can find the booster. You can find the NIL deals. You can find whatever it takes to keep somebody with your institution. If you wanted to find the money to keep Kenny Dillingham to compete with the LSUs, the Penn States, the Floridas of the world, you can make that choice. ASU is not a Division II school that is watching a power school call for their coach. They are also a Power 4 school. So this can they thing kind of bothers me. It's a will they. It's a do they have the appetite? It's really comes down to this question that you all have to try to answer. I know what my answer is. You have to come to your own determination on this. ASU has to come to their determination on this. Is Kenny Dillingham the guy to do something that you've never done before? Is Kenny Dillingham the exception to the rule? Is Kenny Dillingham that special, that much of a difference maker to this football program that this is the time? Because really, once you do this, you don't do it again on the next hire. There's a cycle that happens here. So if you do this and it doesn't work out with Kenny, you're not going to probably do this again for 15, 20 years. You're not going to play in the sandbox with Penn State and LSU and Florida to compete for your guy. So you have to know, you have to feel that conviction that Kenny Dillingham is the guy that's going to change this program. And you know what? My answer today is this is the guy you back up the Brinks truck for. This is the guy that you make an example out of in a good way. You say, when we identify somebody that we think is a culture changer, a difference maker, a program alterer, we make sure that guy is taken care of, and we make sure that guy is our guy, because he is our guy, because this is his alma mater. This is where his family lives. This is where he grew up. This state, this program, this city, this valley is Kenny Dillingham, and we don't want that. We don't want that feeling to leave and go in someplace else. So we're going to make sure that Kenny Dillingham's not going to LSU. And so, yeah, we're going to compete with the LSUs of the world. We're going to compete with the Penn States of the world. We're going to compete with the Floridas of the world. Dollar for dollar, we're going to be right there. That's what I would do. Is there anybody, since you've been at the university, producer Evan, since I've been at the university, that has impacted this city, this state, this football program the way Kenny has in 2.5 seasons?
I would sit down and argue, outside of those that brought professional teams to the area, there is not a player or coach in this town that has stirred up more excitement for their respective team than Kenny Dillingham has for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Then that is the type of impact person that you don't let leave. You don't allow a couple $1 million to be the difference between Kenny Dillingham doing that in Baton Rouge, Kenny Dillingham doing that at Penn State, Kenny Dillingham doing that in Florida, UCLA, whoever might come calling. You don't let that be a reason to let him walk. If you think you can find another Kenny Dillingham, then sure. You say, all right, we're not going to match that. We have somebody else in mind. Remember, when they made the change at athletic director, and they had to go in a different direction with their head coaching search, right? Herm needed to go. They needed somebody else to be here. Kenny was their guy. Kenny was their choice. Kenny is who this program, this university thought is the right guy to lead us into the next chapter. And already he has paid dividends on that bet, on that gamble, that you picked the right guy. So I know at times you say to yourself, there is a number that I'm not willing to match. There is a number where if they want to go there, right? We saw this in the Juan Soto sweepstakes in the offseason in baseball. They're just a number where other teams aren't going to get into that bidding war. It's where they tap out. I know everybody has a number, but I'll ask you this, producer Evan. If you keep it close, maybe you don't have the exact number to the penny with LSU. If you keep it close and you give Kenny a raise, do you really think he's going somewhere?
I don't even think you need to match the number. You just need to be in the ballpark, right? That's the conversation I'm having with myself in my head. What's the number relative? Because all of that comes with it, right? I'm not moving. I'm not moving my family. My entire extended family is here. This is where I grew up. You said this all yesterday. This is where I met my wife. This is home. And he said that in his introductory press conference. This is home.
Which I played today. And boy, was it a different tone than the answer that he gave yesterday to the media about the LSU rumors. Now, do you want the other side of the argument? Because it's all code. Our good friend over on YouTube provides the flip side. And he said, I would not back up the Brinks truck for Kenny at this point. ASU, LSU, or any school. Too soon. And as you discussed last segment, do you know what you have beyond Scadaboo, Tyson, and Sam Love? So it is
it's a very fair argument
to make. Honestly, the bet that you're making is on the person. You're betting that Kenny can figure this out. And you're betting that you're better off with Kenny than having to conduct another search. That's the bet that you're making.
Yeah. I want to push back on what Code has to say.
Okay.
Because, yes, this is too soon as a head coach and not an extended series of success for Kenny. That's kind of, for me, scoffing at his resume prior to being the head coach at Arizona State.
What he did at Oregon, what he did
at
Auburn.
Oregon,
Yeah, fair.
what he did at Auburn, what he did at Florida State. This is a guy who's been part of rebuilds.
And I will say this. I know it's not tangible, and I know it's not, it doesn't change the talent level and with a question mark that we have about the talent around this team that we had in the last segment. But excitement is something that isn't easily created. And Kenny has created an excitement here for this program. Now, you have to have results or it's going to fade. I agree wholeheartedly with that. And you saw the excitement from what he was able to do in his second season, winning a conference championship the first year they're in the Big 12, going to the college football playoff and almost beating Texas. Now, let's see where the chips fall at the end of this season, right? Let's see how things end. I don't like their chances this Saturday against Iowa State without Sam Leavitt, potentially without Jordan Tyson. So you're looking at a team that might be 5-4. Can they get to 8-4, win a bowl game, finish with 9 wins? Is that possible? If they finish this season with 9 wins, yes, not meeting our expectations. But you would have year one, he has to come in here and clean up a mess that was left. You give him a wash. His next 2 seasons are Big 12 title, college football playoff berth, 9 wins, and a bowl victory. you would feel like he's doing his job. You would feel like he's on the right track here. And we all knew this wasn't going to be an overnight kind of thing. We got very excited with what happened in year 2, and we wondered if it was sustainable. I think winning 9 games, including a bowl game, might tell a lot of people that this is sustainable. You fall short of that, you go 7-6 with a bowl victory, it's a question mark. But to me, if you think this is the right leader, if you think this is the right recruiter, if you think this is the right front man for your football program, I just worry about letting him walk and just hoping that you can find somebody else. Because let's face it, nobody is going to have the authenticity that Kenny Dillingham has when he talks to the people of this valley.
No.
There is nobody that is going to be able to match the roots in the ground here, right? That Kenny had. Nobody is going to be able to say, I went to this university. I'm from here. I went to high school here. I raised my family here. This is who I am as a person. This is my school. This is, to use what he said in his introductory press conference, home. You're not going to be able to find somebody that can connect with the fans, the boosters, the students, media in the way that Kenny can, because he gets it. He's from here. There is value to that. The value is, I think it's a type of guy that you go to bat for if a big school comes calling.
And we talk about the excitement. ASU sold out all 4 of its home games to this point this season. Do you know that?
I didn't until you just told me.
You know, that's the first time they've sold out 3 consecutive home games or more since 2007.
Now, I will say this.
You know, it's the first time they've sold out a home opener since 1998.
I will tell you this, though. This season is not going to meet the expectations. I think we can all agree there.
No.
That's going to put pressure on Kenny. But you know what? I believe in him. I believe in that pressure making a better version of Kenny Dillingham. We do have to remember, this is only his 3rd season as a head coach at the collegiate level. 3rd. He's not even through it. He's 2.5 years on the job. And year 1 was basically a babysitting mission of trying to figure out where the program was.
And if teams like Penn State, LSU, Florida recognize it and come calling, and if it's true that we talked about that all of those schools are going to call Kenny Dillingham, you know what that means? You got it right.
You do have to stop and really reflect that if LSU and Penn State and Florida, and we don't know if they will, if all of them come calling, doesn't that make you go, do we really want to let this guy go? And to me, the answer is no. I would make the bet. It is a risk. It is a gamble. It is a bet. I'm willing to admit all of that. This is not getting Nick Saban, who's had decades of success at the collegiate level. You are taking a risk. You are gambling, per se. But you know what? This is the type of guy that I would take the bet on. This is the type of guy I would take a risk on, not the new pro model and Herm Edwards.
I think the example is take a step back and talk about the other guy that's going to get all the calls this offseason, Lane Kiffin. Right? His first year, they go 5-5 at Ole Miss. So he takes the job from FAU, works the team in. They go to the Sugar Bowl 10-3 in his second year. 10-3. It's a great year. And immediately fall back. They go to 8-5. So there is a little bit of leeway here. Like, we've seen this with other prestigious coaches, guys that are going to get calls.
Give me those 3 years again.
Starts at Ole Miss, he goes 5-5.
So, okay, starts at Ole Miss. He goes 5. That's a weird. What happened there?
It's COVID year.
I was just going to say only 10 games feels very, very odd. So, okay, his first year, he goes 5-5. Comes over from FAU. He gets to a big time program at Ole Miss, and he's trying to figure it out.
And it's a weird year, right? They have a 4-5 regular season. They win the Outback Bowl to get to 5-5. So keep that in mind.
Okay. First year for Kenny Dillingham, he goes 3-9. He goes 2-7 in the conference.
Second year, they go 10-3. They lost in the Sugar Bowl. 10-2 season for Ole Miss in 2021 with Matt Corral. They lose in the Sugar Bowl.
2024, Kenny Dillingham's second season, he goes 11-3, wins the conference title, loses in the Peach Bowl.
Ole Miss in 2022 goes 8-5, and they lose in the Texas Bowl.
Right now, ASU is 5-3. Doesn't 8-5 feel like kind of what we're barreling towards?
Yep. And then the next year, 11-2 with a win in the Peach Bowl for Ole Miss. The year after that, 10-3 with a win in the Gator Bowl. And this year, off to a 7-1 start. And certainly everybody's going to be calling about Lane Kiffin this offseason.
There's a lot of comparisons between him and Lane. And you see all of the teams out there that are trying to get Lane Kiffin to come coach their team. It's a bet. It's a risk. It's a gamble. I get all of that. It's one that I would be willing to make. There's just something about the early start to Kenny's career here that tells me they got it right. And here's why I would be willing to do it. You would be allowing him to walk away before you've seen it all the way through. If this is year 5, if this is year 6, if this is year 7, and you got people still convincing you, just wait another season, one more year, we're going to figure this out. You know what? No, I'm not going to play with the big boys. But we are just scratching the surface. You've got to see it through. You made the bet and gamble when you picked him in the first place. You made him one of the youngest head coaches in the sport. You've got to see it through.
And let me just ask, how many people look back on something and say they regret it because they didn't see it through? How many people regret it like, I was wrong on that one? What do you think's more regretful? People that didn't see it through. You got to see this through with Kenny.
Yeah, and that's why, to me, I would back up the Brinks truck. And I get it. It would be a lot of money, but I would do it.
And I understand the buyout doesn't feel as possible as it does for some of these other teams. That's okay. That's the risk you're willing to take.
Yep, and I'm willing to take that risk. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it's time for the Week 9 NFL News Dump. All the stories around the world of football. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, 2 doubles. They also walked him 5 times, 4 intentionally. They've gotten to the point where he's getting Bonds treatment. I want you to pitch in shame. If you're going to intentionally walk him, I want you to throw the 4 pitches that look silly because you don't want to face him. I don't want it to be, hey, we're going to walk him and I point him to first base. Nope. I want you to acknowledge that you can't get him out and you throw those 4 pitches.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app. As part of the Ford Building Together initiative to build and rebuild communities, Desert Ford dealers and Team Rubicon are helping to rebuild Globe, Arizona following recent flooding. If you'd like to donate to Team Rubicon efforts, visit our website to find a link. Go to donate.teamrubiconusa.org/donation/Ford dealers.
It's frustrating when people intervene on you, but they have problems of their own. It's like when someone sends you a text, but the text comes from their email address. I hate this. Your name at iCloud, they FaceTime you from their email address? Are you calling on a child's iPad?
Emmy-winning comedian John Mulaney announces his new tour, Mr. Whatever. Celebrity Theater, Friday, March 6th. Tickets on sale now at etix.com.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
¡Listos todos! Estas son las mañanitas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us if canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Only 50% of Arizonans believe their health insurance will cover them in a major medical emergency, like a car accident or an unexpected life-changing diagnosis. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona aims to change that perception. AZ Blue often takes care of more than 99% of hospital charges in major emergencies, protecting you and your family from devastating financial consequences. To learn more about how AZ Blue protects its members, head to azblue.com/true story.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day.
9 stores in the Phoenix area, including the new Santan Valley location.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Last night, the Blue Jays led a golden opportunity to swing the World Series momentum. In a grueling 18-inning marathon, the Dodgers outlasted Toronto to take a 2-1 series lead. But the loss cuts deeper than that. It's one game, but context matters. The Blue Jays emptied their bullpen, using 9 pitchers in the loss, while the Dodgers trotted out 10, a much smaller issue when your staff features one of the best rotations in baseball. And the gut punch of potentially losing star outfielder George Springer to injury, and suddenly this series feels a lot steeper to climb for Toronto. The Blue Jays have battled all year long, proving they belong. And there's still plenty of baseball left. But when you're facing a powerhouse like the Dodgers, depth and momentum mean a whole lot. One exhausting night, one tough injury, one missed opportunity. And it could mean all the difference in the Dodgers repeating as World Series champs. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. It's being called the Golden Bonanza Sweepstakes. Thanks to our friends at Mako, the DP Show, proud to be a part of this, giving listeners a chance to join us in San Francisco for Super Week. That's right, a trip for 2, including round-trip coach airfare, 3 nights, hotel stay, ground transportation, and VIP access to see us do our show. If that's not enough, Mako also giving away 5 free paint jobs and 10 Mako and DP Show swag bags as runner-up prizes. It's really simple to enter. You go to danpatrick.com. The best news, you can enter daily for a chance to win. You can also receive a 25% off coupon to use at any Mako shop. Visit any Mako location now for a free estimate and redeem the coupon. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, go to danpatrick.com for official rules. No purchase necessary. Void in Alaska, Hawaii, and where prohibited. Open to contiguous U.S. D.C. residents 18 or over. Ends 11/23/25.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
This is what I mean when I say that was a collapse for the ages. An all-time tank job. Not only did the Giants lead 19-0 going into the fourth quarter, they scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, and they still lost. The Giants were 99.8% to win that game, according to ESPN. But according to the Broncos, the number was actually 0.0%.
Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It's Tuesday, which means the NFL News Dump. Top stories around the world of football. We got a news starter in town in New Orleans. Producer Evan, you are the tour guide here on the NFL News Dump. Is that where you'd like to start today?
We'll start with Tyler Shuck getting the nod for the New Orleans Saints. They're going to roll with the second-round rookie, no longer Spencer Rattler. I know Matthew in the YouTube chat going to be pumped up to hear that.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't actually gotten a comment from him yet on that. Look, we said this during the rewind. I think didn't we say it on Friday during the look ahead?
We did.
That at some point, you got to just turn the page and you've got to evaluate. Kellen Moore's in his first season down there in New Orleans. You drafted this kid with the day 2 pick. You can't get to your second season as a coach, this kid's second season with your organization, and not know anything about him as a pro quarterback. You're 1-7 now at this point. Season's lost. I don't think it's Spencer Rattler's fault per se that you're 1-7. Roster's really bad. But now I've got to gain something out of the rest of this season. And what I can gain from these final 9 games is, do I have an answer at quarterback in Tyler Shuck? Was that decision to take him early on day 2 the right one? The only way I can get that answer is by playing him. They started that on Sunday by benching Rattler and going to him in the second half. And now he'll be the starter the rest of the way. Got to get an answer.
Have to get an answer. I imagine if this doesn't go well, they'll draft another quarterback.
Well, they're certainly going to be in a position to do so.
Certainly. The Raiders brought in a veteran presence today. Another win now move for the Las Vegas Raiders. They brought in Tyler Lockett.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Is Pete Carroll just getting the band back together? It's just a reunion tour? How's it working out for him so far?
So far, so bad.
I legitimately think he's going to be one and done there.
I do too. It's been really bad.
But they're locked into Geno. What's Geno's contract?
Would you ever ask Brady to come coach?
Brady to come coach?
Yeah,
I would rather ask Brady
owner,
to come
coach.
play quarterback. What is Geno Smith's contract? I know they gave him the 3-year extension, but contracts and the way they're reported in the media, very fake. You have to actually see the way the contract is structured. Let's see who can get to this first, because I can hear you clicking away over there.
All right.
It was a 2-year extension worth $75 million. Boy, I don't think they're going to be able to get out of this, are they?
There's a potential out in 2027. That would cost.
If they cut him.
$0 a dead cap after next year.
Okay, so they could cut him at the end of this season. It would count for $18.5 million in dead cap. They would save $8 on the total cap number. That's doable in today's NFL. That's not a big enough.
Certainly, you could do it, but then if you do it next year, you lose no dead cap the year after.
But you know what I have to do? I have to watch Geno Smith play quarterback.
But you don't have to play him. You're just not going to have a $26 million backup.
Then I would rather have the $8 million to go spend on another roster spot.
Yeah.
My roster is in a bad place right now. I would rather the $8 million.
Listen, I like this Tyler Lockett move. I think that's going to help him. Chiefs.
You were just all in on the Raiders before.
I was.
By the way, you can listen to the Raiders right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Chiefs and Commanders went at it last night on Monday Night Football.
They did.
It was hard to watch at times, but the Chiefs win this one 28-7. I mean, Washington, stop going for it on fourth down. Stop. You had one lucky year doing it with Jaden Daniels. If you're running Marcus Mariota out there, I can't have you go for every 4th and 3 or less.
Well, here's what you're seeing. You're seeing a team that feels like they've got to press it a little bit because they haven't had their quarterback for the entire season. They're going into the game last night 3-4. They've seen the way the playoff picture stacks up in the NFC. It's who they were last year, so it's part of their identity. But there also is an aggressiveness that I've got to make something happen here, because if we lose again like we did last night, you're now 3-5. You're going to play yourself out of a playoff race if things don't turn in your favor pretty quickly. And the way you can turn things in your favor is to be aggressive, to coach aggressively on fourth down, to go for it, and to try to put the fate in your own hands, not try to punt the ball away or kick a field goal and hope that you can get a stop.
And for this team,
it doesn't help that Mariota throws 2 picks.
Yes, but you picked off Mahomes twice in the first 2 series. You come out of that 0-0, that game is over.
Right, you have to turn those into points.
That's just after the second one, you have to be thinking kick it.
And you're thinking to yourself, think about this for just a second. The Chiefs commit 9 penalties for 95 yards. Patrick Mahomes throws 2 interceptions. How do we not win the football game?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're Washington, you are kicking yourself this morning.
Red zone defense was awful. Chiefs were 4 for 4 in the red zone. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You only got down there twice, and you were 1 for 2.
Travis Kelce had one of the worst drops I've ever seen that resulted in an interception. Also had 6 grabs for 99 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
so
when Marcus Mariota is your leading rusher, that's a problem.
You couldn't run the ball. And they continued. 8 carries. It felt like 6 of them were designed.
Do you know who the leading receiver was last night for the Commanders?
Is it the running back?
Jeremy McNichols.
Yeah, McNichols.
64 yards.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin had the 1 catch down the left sideline. I can't remember another one.
3 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown for my fantasy wide receiver, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. Debo couldn't really get involved.
No, it's broken right now. And it's broken in large part because
you don't have your quarterback. Thought the play calling was bad.
By the way, the Chiefs may be back.
No.
Just to put it out there.
I just don't think so.
Really? The offense has looked so much better the last couple of weeks. They got Rashee Rice back, and all of a sudden, it's kind of Travis Kelce doesn't look 100 years old anymore.
No, and by the way, he's looked good this year.
He's looked great since the album came out, by the way. I need somebody to do this research for me. Can I get the pre-Taylor album stats and the post-Taylor album stats, please? Can somebody do that research for me?
When did the album come out?
That's part of the research that I need done. I don't know the answer to that question.
What's it called? Life of a Showgirl?
Life of a Showgirl. It's very good, by the way. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah, it's very different for her. October 3rd.
Okay, so I need the pre-October. I can do this. We can do this live on the fly. This can be the last
Do you
thing we do
want
here.
post-October 3rd?
Hold on.
Or do you want, which one are you doing?
I want both. Travis Kelce. We can do this. I need his Pro Football Reference page, which I can get up here. We can do this. We can all do this together. Everybody, hold on. I need the game logs from this season. Nope. Yes, I don't have an ad block on. Leave me alone. 2025. I need weeks 1 through week 4. 15 catches, 182 yards, and 1 touchdown. Pre-album release. Post-album release?
He has 22 grabs for over
292 yards and 2 touchdowns. We figured it out. There's the difference, folks. The album has come out. He's a different man. And the best part is it's 2 4-game chunks. It's even. It's evenly split 4 and 4.
Yes. In the first 4, they played the Chargers, the Eagles,
get out of here.
the Giants,
it's all about
the Ravens.
the album. Get out of here with your logic. The album came out. He's a different man now.
I just want to say, like, you've played the Raiders and the Commanders in the last 2.
Again, take your logic and go elsewhere.
You know what else has seemed to fall in short for the Commander? Having, like, awesome years from Bobby Wagner at age 40. He's still smart, and he had a pick last night. But, I mean, how many times did you watch the Chiefs last night run Rashee Rice straight across his face?
You had this take in the summertime that they were an old team, and it was going to show throughout the course of the year. You could take your victory lap. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was right.
That is it for your Week 9 NFL news dump. When we come back, it's Tuesday, which means we've got overreactions. An Overreaction Tuesday next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Oklahoma City taking out everybody on their way to a championship. One of the youngest, I think they average 26 years old, Yeah. Rich. As long as they have the Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan gene, or at least one person on that team, hopefully it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, they have a chance. And listen, it's human nature to be the best and think, I'll be the best again. And then you fall short. I'm going to say Oklahoma City will not go back-to-back.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Fulton Homes celebrates Veterans Day by honoring the Pat Tillman Foundation and their nearly 1,000 Tillman Scholars. Now through Veterans Day, Fulton Homes and the Big Red Radio will honor a different Tillman Scholar and share their story. Fulton Homes is proud to support the Pat Tillman Foundation with a donation in honor of each weekly scholar. The Pat Tillman story is well known, and his principles and service are his true legacy. The Pat Tillman Foundation carries forward that legacy by giving service members, veterans, and military spouses who embody those principles the education, support, and leadership tools they need to reach their fullest potential. This Veterans Day, join Fulton Homes and 98 KUPD as we honor and salute the Pat Tillman Foundation and their Tillman Scholars. For more information on the Fulton Homes Veterans Day Honor Roll, go to 98kupd.com/honor roll and join the salute.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Friday, March 6th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails. Live in Glendale. Peel It Back Tour 2026.
Doesn't it make you feel better?
This holiday season, elevate your event at Talking Stick Resort. From breathtaking views and a world-class golf course to 113,000 square feet of flexible event space, every detail sets the stage for an unforgettable holiday party. Whether it's cocktails under the stars or a fully produced banquet with state-of-the-art AV, Talking Stick has it all. plus a luxurious spa for next day recovery. Secure your celebration today. Talking Stick Resort, Scottsdale's premier destination for celebration. Life well played.
At Nationwide Vision, we help you step into every moment clearly and confidently. From quality eyewear and comfortable contact lenses to comprehensive exams and professional fittings, we make finding your focus a more enjoyable experience than ever. Right now, buy one pair of glasses and get the second one free, so you can live bolder, look sharper, and see better. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
I start with an apology. We didn't do Overreaction Tuesday last week.
It's on us.
It's on me in particular. It was my second day back. I had been gone for 2 weeks. It slipped my mind. So we're back with the Overreaction Tuesday. So all of our takes for an Overreaction Tuesday. Now, producer Evan, I feel like I need to ask this on behalf of the entire listening audience. Your parents land okay?
They landed in Miami.
We're 40 minutes into this hour, and you didn't say anything. So
yes, sorry. I got the flight info here. They landed.
Okay.
I don't know when their second flight is supposed to be. I have no response to my text. But yeah.
Landed in Miami.
They have landed. I'm assuming they had some chop. Now, listen, I don't mind chop up in the air. I think it separates the men's from the boys up in the air.
Okay.
And so I've never minded it, but, I don't know how they dealt with it.
It depends on the type of turbulence for me. Just the normal run-of-the-mill turbulence is fine. I was taking a flight a couple years ago up to Vegas, and during our descent, we hit a patch. It felt like the plane fell out of the sky.
I was going to say the free fall ones actually are bad.
It's the first time in my life that I've ever had a turbulence bump that bad. And I'm the type of person that when I'm confused about something like planes and how it works, and I'm not up there, I'm not seeing the buttons get pressed, I got to know. So I have watched way too many videos of how it works up there, and I feel like I'm an expert even though I've never sat in a flight sim before. So I kind of know what's going on. I know why things happen now. It's helped me with flying quite a bit. That, in the moment, you're not prepared for something like that.
No.
Guy in front of me threw up on the seat in front of him. It was bad.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm okay.
Just from here to Vegas?
Yes.
Wow.
It was on the descent. Like, we were 75% through the flight. No problem. Just hit a bump. And then after that, smooth the rest of the way. It was just like that one little chunk. It was just one big drop. Like I was on, Tower of Terror in Disney
Flights
World.
are kind of unlike anything because in a car, you're right. I can see it.
I got everything in front of me, all the buttons, the controls, everything. In the plane, you don't see a whole lot.
And so it feels like you're completely in somebody else's hands.
And that's why I've taken the time to understand how it works.
Did you ever watch the Malaysia Air disappearance documentary?
I have.
Just a tremendously done documentary. That for a split second, never been afraid of flying, that made me concerned.
With that, let's do some overreactions here on a Tuesday. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
You didn't seem confident in wanting to go first. I'll go first if you want me to.
No, I can go first.
Okay. I got 3 good ones this week.
You do?
I think so.
All right.
One that you're going to just hate, but that's all right.
Can I be honest? It might be the first. It might be the same one. The Raiders will have the first pick in the draft.
No, I don't have that on my list. 2-5 right now. Looking at the teams that
if you look at the standings, the other teams competing, the Cleveland Browns are below them 2-6. I just feel like they're better. Tennessee, they stink, but who knows? The New York Giants are 2-6.
The Jets are 1-7.
And the Jets are 1-7. Cardinals also 2-5.
Jets, Titans, Saints. all tied for the worst record in football at 1-7.
And I feel like all of those teams might be better than the Raiders.
Yeah, you said to me in the morning meeting, you think the Jets get hot here in the second half.
I do.
After the bye. I don't know. I'm not going to get on board with that, but you said that to me unprompted.
You know why? I think they needed to really turn against the owner to fire him up.
Well, the owner turned against the team is really what happened there. They didn't really turn against him. He turned on them. All right. You want me to share one?
Yep.
The Chiefs will have a top 2 seed in the AFC.
I don't think that's an overreaction at all.
Right now, if we look at it, hold on, sometimes technology. Right now, the Chiefs are the 7 seed. I think they end up in one of those top 2 spots.
Yeah, I mean, you have New England there at 6-2, Denver at 6-2. You beat Denver. You're looking at a 6-2 win in the division, and we're talking about a team that's probably going to have a pretty good chance to be playing for a 2 seed late in the year.
Chiefs top 2 seed. I almost wanted to say the best seed in the number 1 seed overall.
No, nobody's catching those Colts.
You seen the Colts schedule in the second half?
Hard?
There's some landmines. I don't want to say hard. There are just some landmines.
Let's look at it.
They play the Chiefs.
I just want to be very clear.
They got the Steelers coming up.
If the Colts beat the Chiefs,
they're
winning the Super Bowl.
If the Colts beat the Chiefs, I mean, all bets are off here. Because
if they go into Arrowhead and win in late November.
Because there's a world where they play the Steelers this week in Pittsburgh. That's going to be a tough game, but
they can win.
They can win. They're in Berlin against the Falcons. They can win that game. They could be 9-1 going into that game against the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs to get to 10-1. It's over.
By the way, the Colts are coming off bye that week too, right? So
that's your favorite to win the Super Bowl. At 10-1, it's 11 games. That's enough. I'm in.
And that's what, I hate when people are comparing them to the Vikings team of 2 years ago. That Vikings team won 11 one-score games.
Do you know that every win is by double digits,
except the second win, which they beat the Broncos.
They beat the Cardinals by 4 and they beat the Broncos by 1. But 33-8 against the Dolphins, 41-20 against the Titans, 40-6 against the Raiders, 38-24 against the Chargers, 38-14 last week.
And I know what people are telling you, oh, well, they haven't played anybody. Yeah, but they're winning with style points.
It could fall off a cliff here in the second.
It could.
All right, go ahead. We gotta fly here.
The Seahawks are real Super Bowl contenders.
I don't think that's that much of an overreaction. A little bit, but I don't think it's that much. They're playing good football. Drake May is the MVP of the NFL.
That's not an overreaction.
Because you're a Drake definitely now.
I'm a Drake definitely.
Where did that start? Because you brought that to the show. Did you get that from somewhere?
Drake maybe. Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw it on Twitter, I think.
Okay.
I love it. I think he is probably the favorite to win the MVP right now. Well, it's probably Mahomes, which is dumb.
Drake May is the MVP of the league.
Yeah. The Ravens will end up fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the year.
Are you ready for this? The Ravens will win the division is my overreaction today on a Tuesday. You laugh. Some of you are laughing at me saying the Ravens will win the division. Let me just outline it for you. They're 2-5. The Bengals are 3-5. The Ravens play Thursday night this week? They're going to get Lamar back. They win that game. They're going to be 3-5. Bengals are done. Toast. Gave up 39 points to the Jets. 500 yards to the Jets. Toast. Done. Stick a fork in them. The Steelers, they're only 2 games back. The Ravens schedule in the second half. Let's see if we can find some wins for this team, and they're certainly going to have some games within the division. They play the Dolphins on Thursday night. That's going to be a win. They play the Vikings. They can win that game with Lamar. They play the Browns. They can win that game. They play the Bengals twice. They have 2 games against the Steelers. The division is going to be in their hands. You laugh.
I'm not laughing.
All right there in front of them. They do have to play the Packers and the Patriots. Those are going to be 2 tough games. But there's a world.
But they're 5-2, or they're 2-5.
There is a world where when they play the Steelers for the first time on December 7th, they are 5-5. I'm sorry, they're 6-5. They have Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Bengals. They could be 6-5 going into that game against the Steelers on December 7th.
It could be. I mean, they've lost bad games this year.
They have. They also just won on Sunday without Lamar.
And the Steelers don't have an easy schedule, right? You got Colts at home, Chargers on the road, Bengals at home, at Chicago playing the Bears, Bills at home, and then you get that Ravens game. That division could flip.
They finish. They have a game against the Lions. They play the Bills, Chargers, Bills.
You know what all of this means to me? Cincinnati's going to be in the conversation for this division too.
Division's wide open. That's the take. The overreaction is the AFC North wide open. What's your last overreaction?
My last overreaction was the Ravens one. We have the same one.
We have the same one. Okay, so we're good. You did your 3, I did my 3?
Yep.
There you have it. An Overreaction Tuesday here on the program. When we come back, man, time flies when you're having fun. We got one more before we are out of here today on a Tuesday. It's all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We call it the leftovers. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
And LSU said, yeah, we've had enough. They've had enough of the experience of Brian Kelly losing 3 out of the last 4, and 2 of which he lost to his coordinator. They were ex-coordinators of him. And the last 3 coaches they've had, they've all won national championship within 4 years. Coach O did it. Les Miles did it. Nick Saban did it. Brian Kelly did not. Yeah, out. Now the question is, who do they bring in?
Back Coach O.
Can't wait to see who that's going to be. No, I think he burned in bridges.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we could be connected here and there.
.com or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025.
The Hondo Rodeo Fest is back November 7th through the 9th at Chase Field. 3 nights of World Championship Rodeo and 3 nights at the hottest country of rock, Kid Rock.
Sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
Jason Aldean.
Oh, come on, whiskey drink.
Nickelback.
This is how you remind me of what I really am.
John Party.
Might have a little dirt.
On the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract, play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Jim Rome takes over at the top of the hour, but before that, it's the leftovers, all the stories that we did not get a chance to touch on throughout the course of the show. We try to get through as many of them as we can here. Producer Evan, what do you got for us here in today's edition of the leftovers?
I want to start with the YouTube chat. Looks like congratulations to Brian.
Well, he hasn't won anything yet, so I don't want to.
He's in the final 50, though.
Yeah, I don't care. He hasn't won anything yet.
Yeah. Well,
he's in a survivor
He's
pool.
got to win. And major question, are we invited, Brian? Or is this just for team listener?
He said if he wins, because there's like 40,000, I guess, in this survivor pool pot, he might host a listener appreciation night. I would take that as we're not invited.
But then I'm a part of the hot dog eating contest.
Because of course, as is a custom when you do a listener appreciation night, we're gonna have a hot dog eating contest. I'm not sure where Brian gets these ideas from, but I don't think we're invited.
I don't.
I think it would be a team listener type deal if he wins. But I'm not giving him congratulations.
Actual congratulations to Matthew, who said he'll chip in his $50 Von Hanson's gift card.
Yes, there's congratulations in order to Matt because he actually won. You haven't won anything yet, Brian. But no, that it is impressive to be in a survivor pool and last this long. So you'll have to let us know on Friday what your pick is for this week.
Yeah, please do, Brian. I won one. I was in middle school, maybe.
Now, is it just a win? Now you can't do it. It's highly illegal. Underage gambling not allowed.
Who said it was gambling?
Oh, okay. You just had a pool?
Yeah, it was like my dad's work thing.
You're not helping yourself here.
Why?
Now, Brian, is this against the spread or are you just picking a winner? Because some you have to.
I think it's just picking the winner. You can't pick the same team twice, right?
Well, you definitely can't pick the same team twice. Once you use a team, you lose a team. I just don't know if they have to win and cover the spread or do they just have to win the game. In most pools, you just have to win the game.
Have you used the Cardinals yet, Brian?
I don't think Brian would use the Cardinals.
Maybe in that Saints game.
I mean, hopefully, he certainly hasn't used them each of the last 5 weeks because he's still in. So.
I also need to update you on
Harrison's yards.
yards.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Really appreciate that. What else do you have in the leftovers? We're letting Brian run the show here to close us out. Let's make sure we stop that immediately.
So have you heard the story that the Ravens took everything out of like the locker room?
Yeah, there was I saw something about a ping pong table.
Yeah, so they took ping pong tables out and like arcade games out of the locker room.
Worked on Sunday.
Turns out Lamar behind this told the equipment staff to take everything out of the locker room.
So not a coaching decision. It's the quarterback, the MVP of the team, MVP of the league, saying, get this out of here. I love it.
I listen. That's why you win. That's why they've been a consistent organization for the last few years. Leadership.
Oh, because John Harbaugh doesn't have to do it. The players do it. Right?
Yeah.
That's good culture.
That's good. That comes from a coach that has built a culture around a program.
1,000%. The credit goes to John Harbaugh, but the fact that he is at a point now where he doesn't have to do that, he doesn't have to say it, it's done and handled by the players, shows you the maturity and the strength of that building's culture and the leadership group that they've put together from a player perspective.
Exactly. Have you seen this thing about Brad Paisley this morning?
So, yes, he has sung
the national anthem
3 times at the World Series.
3 times of the World Series.
2 of the 3 times, the game has gone 18 innings.
And every time, by the way, it has gone to extra innings.
These are the types of things that get presented to me that make me think we're in a simulation. That make me think none of this is real. Because, like, come on. Guy has sung the national anthem 3 times. All 3 times it goes to extras. 2 of the 3 times it goes exactly 18 innings. Like, what are we doing here?
Wait, so actually it's 4 times.
Okay, it's 4 times.
Yeah, so the World Series Game 2 in 17, 11 innings. Okay. World Series Game 3 in 18 innings. That's the Max Muncy home run. World Series Game 1 last year went 10 innings. That's the Freeman Grand Slam. World Series Game 3 in 2025, 18 innings.
So my guy just
loves extras.
Loves helping the Dodgers, loves helping Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, I have no idea if Game 2 in 2017, if the Dodgers won that one. That's another
interesting wrinkle to all of this.
Game 2, 2017 World Series. Dodgers lost 7-6.
Okay, so he's not undefeated for the Dodgers.
Yeah. If that was the World Series, the Astros won.
I did see that circulating on social media this morning, and it was just further proof that I think we're living in a simulation.
Just living in a simulation. Yeah, are you one of those guys?
We are living in things like this push me in that direction. I don't know what I believe, but I'll tell you what, things like that make me think this is just a real life game of The Sims. There are moments and there are things that happen that make me question a lot. This is one of those things.
Can we talk about what Myles Garrett did this weekend? Because we haven't talked about it.
Slamming his helmet or the 5 sacks?
All of it. I mean, welcome to the league, Will Campbell, who gave up all 5, by the way.
Yeah, it's a great individual performance, but
you got to get out of Cleveland, man.
He had the choice.
I know.
He was presented. He requested the trade. He wanted out.
Yeah, he should have done what Michael Parsons did and actually left. He's probably thinking that right now.
So I'm sorry, but I don't feel bad for him. He requested the trade, and then the moment they just put more money in front of him, he said, "Okay, I'll stay." So I'm sorry, like you signed up for this. Literally, you signed up for this.
Yes,
could have been playing elsewhere, and instead you signed up to be a part of this team. So no, I don't feel bad. Making a lot of money, being a great player,
walk-in Hall of Famer.
Oh, slam dunk, no doubt. But
would be ashamed to never see him win.
He's going to stay in Cleveland. How's he going to win in Cleveland? Again, he chose to stay.
Cleveland. As our guy LeBron
said. And what
said.
did he do after that? He left too.
Yeah, but he got him theirs.
Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.